everyone, welcome to the channel, Hysteria Projects. I hope you're having a wonderful day. These are general messages, so please take the parts that resonate, leave what doesn't behind. The overall energy in this message is a lot of divine support. So much divine support. You know, the Three of Pentacles is the overall energy. And that's coming together. And I feel like this is you and spirit. This is you and God coming together. You two are working together on something here. And whatever this is that you're working on, it's going to bring so much financial stability. You know, this is something like retirement plans, okay? This is something that is going to be beneficial long term, and this is very physical, you know? So this is something that will bring you financial security. Whether or not this is something that you're getting paid for at the moment, I'm not sure. But this is something that you and spirit, you and God, you and the universe are working on. And this is going to, it feels like this is going to become so much more than what you thought it would be, okay? We have the Nine of Swords in the reverse, and I love that. I love that. The Nine of Swords in the reverse. You know, this is something that is going to bring you so much peace. You're not going to be stressing, okay? And Spirit doesn't want you stressing right now either. It doesn't feel like you are, but, you know, for those of you that may resonate for, you know, whatever this is that you and the divine are working on, this is something that you enjoy. This is something that there's a message that you have to say. Okay? So whatever this is that you're working on, this is going to be beneficial to other people. And it feels tangible. Okay? So this could be anything from, I don't know, creating a YouTube channel and doing a podcast, or writing a book, or, you know, making speeches, being a public speaker of some sort. There's something here, though, that you're going to be providing others. And this is also going to help other people. So I really love this energy, you know, because this is teamwork at its finest. This is something very big. Oh, look, the Ace of Swords. That's clarity. That's the truth. I mean, you're working on something big, okay? Massive. And it's going to be so stable. So stable. Now, I'm getting that there have been certain endings here, and this doesn't have to be in love. It actually feels family related, okay? So maybe you come from a dysfunctional family, or some sort of distortion here, okay? Maybe you didn't have the greatest upbringing around the greatest people. You know, again, take it however it resonates, okay? But there has been a breaking down of some sort of stability here, and I'm getting that's within the home life, okay? Now, this could be your own personal little home life, or this could be family, you know, take it how it resonates, but there's been a breakdown of something to allow something more strong, more stable to regenerate. And that is what the divine is working on with you right now. So I'm talking to somebody here who went through a great deal of loss. And this is a tangible loss, okay? We all go through losses, right? In all different types of way. But there's something specific about this particular loss that you went through. And it's because it wasn't sturdy, it wasn't stable, it wasn't meant for you, you know? There had to be a complete breakdown of this. So things could become imbalanced again, you know? There's definitely major growth from the past here, a lot of changes. And that is this regeneration, you know, that's this energy of the divine being your partner here and working with you on this to actually have something that is so strongly rooted, for one, because this is rooted within the divine. This is rooted with God. You know, you and the universe are working together on this, and there is some truth that is going to be provided out of this. There's hope. You know, this is massive. And really the energy here is that the divine sees how massive this is, but you don't. You don't see how big this is going to be, okay? And to be fair, you know, it's because of all of these endings. It's because of this breakdown, you know? So maybe you're just now in the beginning stages of working on this, or maybe, you know, the divine has shown you kind of the plan here, but it's not progressed far enough, you know, for you to be getting an idea, you know, about how big this is going to be. This is huge. Okay, I don't know what this is that you're working on, but whatever this is, it's gonna be major. We have the star here, and it's in the reverse, and that's telling me, you know, that again, you don't really see how big this is gonna be. This is something that it's gonna be so massive. It like shoots you into the public eye. It shoots you into stardom. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's very public. But what I'm getting here is that this is something that is going to be shared. Shared is the word that's wanting to come out here. And you don't see that. You don't see it, okay? That's all it is you don't see it. And there's a sense of giddiness I feel from the divine with this too, because I'm getting here that for some of you, you could be kind of in this unhopeful energy, you know, again, all of this major loss, you know, I'm getting, you know, this could be the beginning stages of something, you know, there really hasn't been enough work put in, and this hasn't gone far enough for you to grasp the idea of what this can and will be. But the divine is pouring into this. You're pouring into this. You know, so although you may be a little unhopeful at the moment, you know, the divine is wanting to say, try to have a little bit more balance, okay, in the thoughts, because what I'm getting is that sometimes for whoever I'm talking to, this energy of not being very hopeful, it's almost coming from like a pessimistic mind state. And I feel like that is something that was from your past. That is also a thing that is needing to be severed, you know, for the full expansion of this regeneration. But it's not something that's too major. I mean, you are coming out in this Nine of Pentacles. As many times as I just shuffled, you're still on the bottom here, okay? You're still in this Nine of Pentacles energy, which does tell me that although you have gone through a lot of loss financially and within the material realm, you're not in a bad place right now. You're actually in a place where you're in a decent mind state. You know, you are experiencing joy. You have a sense of freedom here, you know, that is really kind of allowing you to shine in your light. And this is something that it's slowly building, okay? It's slowly building. Now, you might, okay. All right, so that makes sense. So some of this pessimism is a little bit of the stress that you have. Again, you don't see how big this is going to be. You don't see what an impact that this may have on other people. But Spirit is wanting you to just try to think a little bit more optimistic. You know, it's almost giving this energy of you being afraid to dream and think too highly or too big, you know, in fear of being disappointed. And Spirit is wanting to be very, very clear that they are the ones working with you. God is the one that is working with you. The universe is collaborating with you in order to do this. This isn't just giving me the energy of like, you know, you having live the retired life and being set in that sort of way, I'm also very much getting here that this is something that is on your purpose. This is something you're meant to do. That's why you're being assisted so heavily with this, And I feel like Spirit is wanting to say, keep working on whatever this is. Keep moving forward with whatever this is. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask, for some help and for some support or whatever it may be, because the universe is right here waiting to give you a helping hand with anything that you need for this. There's a bigger purpose to this. This is going to affect a lot of people in a positive way that you don't see. We have fulfill, and then we have big love. Again, this is something that is going to bring you a peace, a happiness here. There's some sort of wisdom that you're incorporating into whatever this is, and that's where you kind of have, I don't know, there's something different here, because it's like you're the only one that could do it in this way. You're the one that has lived the life that you have lived, and there's something here. It's part of your destiny. Didn't I just say that a second ago? It's part of your destiny, okay? And the divine is guiding you the whole way through, right? They are supporting you in this. So maybe you have gotten a little unhopeful. Maybe you've taken a break from things. Maybe you're not staying so consistent with whatever this is. And I feel like Spirit is trying to say, don't allow this to go unfinished. Keep working on it. Finish the project. Oh my God, keep moving. Keep working on it. It is going to go somewhere. It is going to be abundant for you. And there is a greater purpose to this. There really is. You have a talent here that this is requiring. Look, we have abundance. It's going to be abundant. And this bottled up here, I feel like some of this is some of that loss, It's like you kind of keep those things within yourself. Maybe you try really hard to be in control over your emotions and your thoughts here. But what I'm getting here is a lot of growth. That wisdom is coming up again, There's a lot of things that you know that you can provide others clarity on. I'm curious about what this is. We have all heart, standing by your long-lasting commitments. Spirit is wanting you to look at this as something that you should commit to. Maybe that's some of the energy that's coming out here is, should I stay with it? Should I just let it taper? You know what I'm saying? And whatever this is something that you're working on that is going to help other people. And Spirit wants to say, hey, finish the project. Look at this as something to commit to, because it's going to be abundant. I'm not taking the stat, so hang on. It's going to be abundant. And we have learning. Again, there's some sort of wisdom here. There's some sort of knowledge here that you have that is going to help other people. It's like you have this, I don't know, it feels like an equal, like you have some sort of, why is the word equal coming out? It's like you have a balance. Oh, that's what it is. You have a good perspective. You can look at two sides of things, okay? That's where that equal and balance is coming through. You are able to, I don't know, like it's almost giving kind of like a mediator almost. So that could be very specific for somebody. We have the past returns, sinking feeling, rising tide. There's You've gone through a lot. You've had to go through a lot. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to, this is an energy where you feel like, you just have to fight so hard. And while, yes, you are in this energy of being abundant and independent and hardworking, there's also this energy of you feeling like you just don't have the equivalent to show for it. It's like all of this work that you've put in, it just come and goes. It's like, what do I have to show for it? Where is the long-term success and stability? You know what I mean? It's like you having to try and fight so hard just to stay ahead or to be on time. You know what I mean? There's something here about that where you're tired. That's what it is. That's what it is. You're tired. And Spirit is wanting to say, keep working towards whatever this is. Whatever this particular project is that you are working on, Spirit wants to say it's going to be abundant, but commit to it and finish it. Reaching goals here. This is something that you're going to be so happy. You're going to be so happy. And this is going to be great. Spirit is just wanting to try to keep you on track here. Yeah, keep you on track for the success. Focus on winning, making money over love. They want to keep you focused on this project because this project serves a bigger purpose. This project is going to help others. Again, you have some sort of wisdom here, and lilies could be significant, but it's giving like, you've ended old things and it's time for this new thing to develop. And Spirit is trying to give you a helping hand with this. With this letter coming out, again, this could be something to do with like a podcast or maybe a YouTube platform or being a public speaker or, I don't know, maybe being a mediator, writing a book. Who knows, okay? There's so many possibilities here that I could just list through. But the point is whatever this message is that you have to say, it needs to be heard. There's people in the future here that are going to need this. Whatever this is that you're working on is going to make a difference. And right now it's unfinished. Spirit wants you, right now it's not finished. It's not finished. So Spirit wants you to continue working on this. Commit back to it. If you've taken a break, that's fine. The Spirit doesn't want you to let it taper away. This is something they want you to finish. And right now it's not finished. You need to keep working on it because there is going to be abundance. There's going to be clarity. This is something that is so stable. This is something that the world needs. This is something that you're creating, that you're growing, and you're using your wisdom, you're using your past, you're using your connection with the divine here to do this. This is part of your destiny. This is part of your path. You're regenerating something for yourself as well. Again, this broken down stability had to happen in order for the divine to set this up for you. And that's what it is. It's like the divine is giving you a whole garden here. A whole garden. The divine is working with you. There is a greater purpose to this. And this is like, a situation where you reap what you sow. And you're sowing something that is so important and so needed. This is needed. Whatever this is. There is a time here where this is needed. And it's going to be very abundant. Very, very abundant. Look. Star. The star came out in the reverse. It's because of this lack of hope. It's because of this lack of this vision, really. And I do understand. I see it. The divine sees it as well. There's nobody's trying to wave a finger at you right now, okay? The divine sees this as well. But the divine is trying to give you some encouragement here. The divine wants to show you, wants to give you some sort of idea, some sort of message here that this is extremely abundant. This is something that is going to change your life. This is something that's going to change other people's lives. There's a sense of hope. There's a sense of guidance, you know. Sometimes, you know, I look at this star energy as that guiding light home, that guiding light to yourself, to God, you know, that internal light. It's the guiding light home, you know, and you're birthing this. You're creating this. You're the only one that can do it in the way that this needs to be done. Again, there's something about your talent here. There's some sort of skill that you have, that this is part of your destiny, not someone else's, but yours. And you're going to have so much happiness and so much joy, so much abundance come from this. You know, this bear energy here, it's like mama bear energy. It's that heart, it's that nurturing. You are a nurturing person, and you're working on something that is going to provide that nurturing energy to others. You have no idea how big this is going to be. Like, I almost feel like I could cry right now. So I'm sorry if whoever I'm talking to, you're getting like, you know, emotional, but hear me out. You're the only one that can do this. And the divine is helping you in any way you need help, okay? If you need anything, I'm hearing if you need anything, reach out, ask. The divine will try to help you and give you clarity and stuff because you are working together for this. This serves a bigger purpose. And this is so beautiful, you know, because this is something that not only really just displays who you truly are as a person and all of the beauty within your soul and your spirit, but this is going to draw people in towards that inner light, like a moth to a flame. Okay? It's going to guide people towards their own inner truth in a sense. And it's not only going to be freeing you and allow you a sense of freedom, like again, I'm getting like retirement plan here. Not only is it going to give you a sense of freedom, but it's going to allow others to have some sort of freedom. So I don't know what this is that you're working on. You know, please put it in the comments below. I'm curious to know because this is major and the world needs this. The world needs it. And you're the only one that can do this. You know, so Spirit's saying, please, you know, don't give up on this. You know, try to be a little more committed. Try to be a little more dedicated because you really don't understand how significant this is going to be in the future. And not just for you, but for others. Again, this is part of destiny here. So let's pull a final message. Achievement. As I journey towards achievement, I discover my strengths and grow through each challenge. I believe in my potential and trust in my abilities. Today I move forward with confidence, embracing life and its lessons. I am courageous, and I am supported on this path towards the light. Okay? Clarity, truth. I mean, here it is. Here it is, okay? If you needed reassurance, here it is. You know, you're doing something that is going to change people's lives for the better, even if it's in a small way. You know, it might seem small to you, but it could be major to somebody else. So don't underestimate how important whatever this is going to be, because I feel like the divine is, you're going to be so surprised by this. You are, but the divine needs you to just keep working on it, keep moving forward with this project and commit to it. You know, maybe make a schedule. That could be significant for somebody. Maybe make a schedule, okay? Maybe if, you know, oh, I don't have time, or things just keep happening, or things come up, you know, maybe dedicate a couple days a week for a couple hours to just focus on whatever this is. And that will ensure that you continue to make that progress, you know? I don't feel like there's any rush on this at all. I feel like really Spirit is more or less kind of wanting to bring to light here, you know, hey, don't don't be in this unhopeful energy. It's understandable why, you feel a little sometimes. But little do you know how important this is. And they want to try to give you an idea of that, to encourage you to, hey, stay committed to this. Finish the project. Because right now it's not finished. This coffin wanted to come out crossing. It's not finished. And that 8 is the abundance that will come from this. So don't give up. If you're struggling, pray about it. Ask the universe for help and allow a little bit of time for them to answer back, because you will get an answer. You will. You are co-creating right now with the universe. And this is something that is needed. I'm going to keep saying that. This is needed. So I hope this message helped. And until next time.